So I decided to do a journal with me on this day, and I had a bit of a snippet piece left over, and I wanted to put it into my journal to show how you can use a snippet. Snippets. So I pulled out the paper and I put a marker in there so I know where to put it back in. And the thing about the elastic binding, it makes it a free-flowing journal. So you can take out papers to work on and you can put them back in. So I have my supplies here, and I wanted to see if I could get that little sewing machine to sew it onto the page. And when I put the batteries in at home, it did sew on that scrap of fabric, but when I tried to sew it, the thread broke, I don't know, I can't get the tension to release the thread to even pull it through, so right now it's just a really cute paperweight. Oh my. I record in my shop, but I do not have an electrical outlet, so I can't bring my sewing machine. But maybe one day that will change and I will be able to plug things in and record it as I go. So here I am figuring out which side of the paper I want to use for my collage today, my journaling. That's what I like about the elastic binding too, is that you don't have to commit until you commit to the page. You don't have to feel like you have to go from front to back. You can just do, oops, let me turn off my ringer. There we go. You can just do it the way you want to, and it allows you to be creative in more ways than one. That's why this is about the only type of journal I have right now in my shop, because I want to encourage creativity in everybody. One of the saddest things I hear, sad because it breaks my heart, is to hear people that come into my shop and say, oh, I'm not creative at all. And I want to say, oh, but you can be if you really want to, if you have a desire. Nobody is not creative. And these journals, and using just what I'm doing here, magazine images, some stickers maybe, some pieces of fabric, you're just allowing yourself to play. You're allowing yourself to open up your creativity. Nobody is judging you. Nobody is telling you, well, that's wrong, and you're going to be fired. There's no right or wrong when it comes to being creative in a journal. So I decided I was going to use the whole picture, and I use glue stick in my personal journals. Sometimes I'll use liquid glue. But for me, when it's personal, if it lifts up later, I can always just stick it back down. It's not that vital that it stays stuck for all eternity. So on the other side of this page, you can see lightly a stencil of the Eiffel Tower and a diamond pattern. That is a large stencil that I have, and when I went through my journal, I stenciled every white page of my journal. I like to do that so that I'm not staring at a blank white page and not knowing what to do. So here I am switching out pens now. I'm like, okay, I've got the luxury of having 2 pens. I don't have all of my craft supplies. Obviously, it's a shop inside of a vendor mall, but I do have a few things, and so I decided to change up to a fatter Sharpie. And so I wrote my thoughts on one side, and then I was like, okay, now I'll use the little pen. Nope, I'm going to use the bigger pen, but on the thinner side of the Sharpie. And there you go. You can't always get what you want, but you can dream. and I forgot to mention, but instead of sewing the snippet, I just stapled it right on there. Now, you may not be able to tell, but the card on front of the snippet, it says secret and the definition of a secret. So I decided to write my secret on the tag. I usually show you all everything I'm writing. Well, maybe not all the time, but this time it is a secret at this point. I may show you sometime later. But anyway, if you're in Southern California and you're in Irvine, come to Open Market OC, come to my shop, grab a journal. They're all on sale right now. You'll have a lot of fun. Now, here's something else that I want to tell you about. Okay, so now I'm putting it back in the journal, and I'm like, oh, da, 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 put it back in. Oh, wait a minute. It is now a 2-page spread when I thought it was going to be a full size 1-page spread. So now, because it is an elastic binding, I'm going to put it in the middle, and it doesn't matter. It can go anywhere. I could take out pages if the thing is going to get too big, or I can move them around. It's just a really great way of not restricting your creativity. So there we go. I'm done. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.